Hey! Hello, everyone, and let me be the first to welcome you to RPG Limit Break 2025. We've got a wonderful pre-show here for you. We're going to be talking about everything that we've got coming up in the week and around it. But first, I want to introduce who we've got here. As you may or may not know, my name is Vonnie Von. I will be taking you through this. Here to my left, we have Mr. Ray. He is our local NAMI representative, and we're going to be talking a lot about that and your involvement there. To his left is Netara, who just does lots of talking anyway.
No way.
Yeah, yes. And the gentleman here at the end, he is a dear friend of mine. He is woven into the fabric of this community. And he wasn't here last year, but he's here this year. So everyone here in the audience, I want you to give a nice, loud welcome to Bob the Ninja Goldfish!
And if I can...
Love it.
RPG Limit Break! Acknowledge me! Well, if I can quote myself.
Yes.
From the last time I was on the pre-shoot. Let's go!
Love the enthusiasm. I can feel the energy in the room. This is great. We're going to have a great time here. And let's... you weren't done. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Since we're talking about me being welcome back.
Yes.
We should mention someone that is missing from our ranks.
We do. We do need to, and this is a fantastic time to do it. We want to give a big shout out and a whole lot of love to another member of our community who is just part of the foundation of RPG Limit Break, and that is High Spirits. High Spirits, unfortunately, was unable to join us this year, but we love you, High Spirits. We hope you're watching, and just know that you will be dearly missed, and we can't wait to see you at RPG Limit Break 2026. So take care of yourself. We sure, yes, we sure do.
I want to see that chat explode in hearts.
Give me some RPG love.
The love you can.
High Spirits is there and he saw it.
Yes, excellent. Oh, I'm so glad. Very good. Alrighty. So, we have with us here Ray from NAMI. So, Ray, it is great to meet you because this is the first time that we've been here, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we're meeting you here for the first time at RPG Limit Break. So what I'd like you to do is kind of introduce yourself. Tell us about your background and how that relates to NAMI and how you got involved with NAMI itself.
Love it. Thank you, guys. This is incredible. To raise you up to come to the altitude of Colorado. It's really amazing. We're gonna. So I tell everyone, drink lots of water.
Yeah.
That means if you're not going to the bathroom enough, you're not drinking enough water.
There
so that's tip number one.
Good.
How did this all happen?
Yep.
There it is, right?
Okay. All right.
How did this all happen? Every one of us, we say about 1 in every 4 individuals has a connection to mental health, whether they're living with a mental illness or it's a family member, a neighbor, a friend, a colleague, someone like that. And it's very true with my family of 5, right? I have a son living with general anxiety disorder. I have a daughter with a rare genetic syndrome, so she's been bullied in school and suffered the challenges from that kind of space. And so all of a sudden you begin to say, what can I do to make a difference? And so the National Alliance on Mental Illness started 4+ decades ago with what we call NAMI mommies. They were sitting around a kitchen table and saying, this is just not right. We need help, and our kids need help. So they started family support groups, they started peer support groups, and 4+ decades later, we're saying if there is a marginalized community out there, if there is someone who's feeling alone, we're not doing a good enough job. And so here we are just expanding our programs, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Well, and raising that awareness is obviously a huge part of what we do with these Limit Break events every year. But I'm really glad you mentioned the whole NAMI Mommies thing, because something that we talk about a lot when it comes to our connection to NAMI is that it is a grassroots organization.
Sure.
Absolutely.
The fact that it has those humble beginnings, and here we are almost 50 years later, and they're still going strong, and we're helping them out with the events that we do every year is truly phenomenal, and it's definitely something that you and the entire organization should be very proud of. Now, speaking of the organization itself, talk a little bit about how you specifically got involved with, I know you talked about your background with the kids, but how did you get involved with NAMI itself?
Yeah, we, like everyone else that's online with us right now, sitting at a computer during COVID, and I see a part-time executive director job announcement come across. And I'm like, you know what? I've got some stories to tell. My wife is a breast cancer survivor, heart disease survivor. We know the combination between medical and mental and what you want to do to help recover. So I'm like, you know what? This is time for me to jump in and actually destigmatize mental illness and my ability to be executive director of not just NAMI Colorado, but 14 affiliates around the state.
Oh, wow.
Really
Nice.
cool. Go back to your grassroots. So if there's someone down there near Mesa Verde or the great sand dunes and space like that, and they're struggling, we don't want them to be alone.
Oh, for sure.
You are all about community, right? People coming together in the gaming industry to be able to be together.
Exactly.
So my own personal one is if I can use my skill set of public relations and fundraising and nonprofit management, because for 20 years I've been doing a nonprofit fundraising consulting firm. And I'm like, you know what? It's time that we jump in the game. We can say AIDS, we can say breast cancer. People are still sometimes scared to say mental illness or mental health.
Absolutely.
So I'm thrilled to be a part of this national alliance of 600 affiliates.
Your enthusiasm for NAMI, and it is readily apparent.
Oh, yeah.
Like the fact that you have this just like raw passion for doing this is fantastic. I'm really glad you're here to talk about that. Now, what I'd like to talk about now is, and speaking of talking about NAMI, we do it every year. We have a representative that we talk to every year. So, but it's been a year. What's new with NAMI? What's been going on over the course of the last year or so?
We did some focus groups with youth 18 to 25.
Yeah.
And they said, we don't feel like you've tapped us to know what resources we need.
Okay. Yeah.
You keep telling us what resources we need. And I said, well, why don't we go around to all the different campuses, whether it's Colorado Mesa University on the western slope or the huge CU Boulder, and we're going to start NAMI on campus clubs. And within that NAMI on campus clubs, let's find some leadership, people that are willing to speak out, and we'll call them NAMI Next Gen. And so our NAMI Next Gen program is going to be launching their first ever Youth Health Summit this August. And it's going to be online for the same exact reason you guys are. You want people to be able to participate, whether it's here in person or participating via chat and coming through and asking. So the biggest new thing is, if we can train 18 to 25-year-olds to do our support groups and to do our classes, then they'll be interacting, not with this old 50-something guy, but they'll be interacting with people who have lived experience that they can relate to.
That's incredible.
One of my personal favorite things about what we do here is a portion of the money we raise goes to the local NAMI affiliate. So we can be like, we are directly affecting the community that is helping us run the event.
Well, and we can entice these young adults to get stipends. If they're going to take our training, we don't expect them just to do it out of the kindness of their heart. We're going to give them a stipend. We're going to give them food. We're going to make sure that we're feeding the soul and the body. And so the dollars that we raise here actually goes to help our trainings, our materials, make sure people have access on internet, and give the stipends to those people that are going to be training the trainers and continuing forward.
Incredible.
If people want to get involved or check out those forums the youth forums that you were talking about, how do they do that?
NAMIcolorado.org.
Okay.
You can always email me directly, info@NAMIcolorado.org or ray@NAMIcolorado.org, and just put in the subject line NAMI Next Gen or NAMI on campus, something like that, whatever's on there. That subject line, and I know we talk about this, right? The difference maker about what you choose to put in that subject line will get me to read that email. So use your creative, you guys, you breathe creativity.
Absolutely.
Right? So use your creativity to tell us what you need, and we'll respond on there. But NAMI.org and NAMIcolorado.org have all the resources listed out there. And
excellent. I appreciate you sharing that. Now, as a lot of you are aware, this is in May, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, okay? Tell me about what NAMI, and maybe specifically the chapter that you are a part of, what do they do involving the Mental Health Month and coordinating with?
So I literally just came, it doesn't look like it because I changed clothes, red lights, change clothes as quickly as you can, put on my Vans, take off I came from a church program that was about gun safety and mental health, right? And sitting literally next to me was the state trooper talking about his own experience as he encounters people. And the more we talk about this, whether it's with clinicians, whether it's with law enforcement, whether it's with teachers and students. So one of the things we do during Mental Health Awareness Month, we sit in chairs like this, we sit in pews at churches, we go to parks. Last week, we had over 500 individuals doing a 1.5 mile walk as they were able to do it. That's raised the awareness. There's also a rare movement disorder called tardive dyskinesia. We had people do quilt patches from all around the country.
Yeah.
If they were living with TD, with tardive dyskinesia, and we're now going to be displaying that quilt in fire stations, in libraries, and then it'll leave Colorado. The rest of the year, it'll be displayed in other places. So there are so many ways to raise awareness. We had a cookie bar. People made cookies because it just feels good to have.
Now you
Well,
have
absolutely.
I genuinely thought you say it feels good to eat a cookie.
I mean,
Right?
it is also that.
Can we send out for cookies?
Yeah, indeed. We'll still be here for about another, I don't know, 20 or so minutes.
I mean, it does feel good.
Cookies and milk.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, cookie. Oh, yes, indeed. Ray, yes. Ray, thank you so much for joining us
with pleasure.
and being here, being a part of what we do. And the whole mission of NAMI is, again, it's just ingrained into what we do here at RPG Limit Break. And speaking of what we do here at RPG Limit Break, and we've been doing it for quite some time, folks might not be aware, and if you look on Netara's lovely shirt here, this is our 10th anniversary of RPG Limit Break. We've been doing this for an entire decade. We had to take a couple years off, obviously, because of the pandemic. But we've been at this for an entire decade.
That's amazing.
That's
incredible.
mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I suddenly turned to dust.
now, because of the longevity that we've had with Limit Break and all of the money that we have raised for NAMI, we got something really special, really special.
This close.
Really special that's going to happen this year. We need to raise, I think it's just shy of about $20,000 in this year event. And when we do, across all RPG Limit Break events that we have held, we will have raised a grand total of $1 million for the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Thank you.
Which is, it just like, it gives me goosebumps to say it because, I talked to a lot of people, I told them I was going to be in Denver this week and they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I told them that we're raising money for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. I'm like, well, how much are you doing? And when I tell them about the $1 million mark, the looks on their faces of, wow, like you're making an enormous impact. And I'm like, yeah, we are.
Especially for an event of our size.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We're not looking to bring in multiple hundreds of people to an event and huge hotels. We're looking at small, close-knit community that we genuinely care about.
Yeah.
And it's amazing what our community has been able to bring about for the last 10 years.
Every year, they just come forward with and just show us that support, and it's incredible.
We love you all.
Now, speaking of bringing people to our event, we made a very, very big change with what we do here in order to bring more people to our event. And that is the fact that we are now in Denver, Colorado with RPG Limit Break this year. A big part of the reason for that was that, obviously, as you know, we had our events before in Salt Lake City, Utah. But with us being such a tight and close and caring community among one another, and a very diverse community, yes, it's a great point. We were acutely aware of the fact that having our event in Utah was not very conducive to a lot of people who are near and dear to us being able to attend.
Or to the message we're promoting.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So we need to give a big shout out to another one of our staff members here, and that is Cece, who put in tireless work. Yes, absolutely. A round of applause for Cece, who put in tireless work to find a new venue for this event. And we have arrived here in Denver, Colorado to continue to put on RPG Limit Break and bring in so many more of our community members to put them into an environment where they feel safe, where they feel welcome, and where they feel like they belong.
I also want to give a huge shout out, even though we're not there anymore, to the NAMI affiliate over in Colorado.
Yes.
They
You mean in
Salt
Utah?
Lake City, Utah.
In Utah,
Utah,
yes.
sorry. They absolutely went to bat for us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And-
So the standards are high.
Yeah.
So
So is the altitude. We're good. Among other things in Colorado.
Yeah,
But this,
We are watching and
Yes.
we are judging.
yeah.
that's good.
Just so you're aware.
Just so you know, Colorado is a judgment-free zone. That's what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
So we can't judge. Put the judgment away.
Yeah.
England
Okay.
is not.
You're not in England, Bob.
Yeah. So the move to Denver is obviously a big one for us. We had a lot of people that had to bring in moving vans from all our storage to bring
Yep.
everything over here, and that was a huge undertaking.
Absolutely.
But one that was incredibly worth it to be able to have this event here and have everything that we do be welcoming for all the people that want to be a part of it.
Yeah, and we did have a great increase in attendance for this year.
Yeah.
So that was incredible.
I'm watching the chat blow up and support your decisions.
Yes.
Obviously, we're
Yeah.
supportive
Good.
of
Yeah,
it.
chat, we can see
but
you,
this
by the way.
is-
Yeah, we
this
we,
is-
we
Yeah.
listened.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other thing is, and it's not just the community, like, more things have evolved in that. Like, the event is
Yeah.
evolving as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we're sourcing things that we couldn't do elsewhere. And, like, the setup we have this year, while we may have a smaller overall footprint, like, the stream room feels a lot more limit break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Previous.
There's a lot of people on the other side
Yeah.
of this curtain.
Let them
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah.
But like one of the things that Limit Break has always prided itself on, in my opinion anyway, is the intimacy of the event.
Yes.
The event.
No question about it.
Absolutely.
And we're really getting back to that with the move as well.
Yeah.
And that's something we want to make sure that's an identity of our event.
No, yeah, that is an absolutely great point. Now, speaking of things that we are doing this year that are new to us here, is a couple of partners that we have that are working with us. First one we want to give a shout out to is Dragon Roast Coffee. They are going to be running a promo all week long. You'll hear all of our wonderful hosts talk about it. I know there's chat commands too for it, where if you want to get information about Dragon Roast Coffee, how you can enter a promo code to get a discount, and then also know that all purchases that are made using that promo code, a portion of that will be donated by Dragon Roast Coffee directly to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. So big shout outs to them.
They've got like
doing
a
that.
tumbler. They've got an
Yes. Oh, yeah, it's not just coffee,
I think they've
yeah.
got like an exclusive tumbler, like
Yep.
that's only available very around this event.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
Nice.
So
my brain stopped.
So
I think.
definitely check that out. Now, another partner that we are thrilled to have this year, that is Tantrum Merch. We're rocking a lot
talk
of
about
stuff.
people knocking it out of the park.
Yes,
Like-
yes. I mean the
Yeah.
custom.
I'm stopping
the-
by
the-
their
the
booth
custom-
right after this.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah, they have a booth here.
The custom gear that we at the staff here has is awesome, but there's also a ton of gear that people can get as well. We've got a couple modeled back here. We've got these shirts. There's a whole bunch of them online. We've got this. What is this here? What is this game here? I'm blanking here. It's cool. It's Golden Sun. Thank you. Golden Sun. We got a Soul Blazer shirt over
Yep.
there now, and
Blame ever hate.
yes, yeah,
Yep.
exactly. But there's one really, really unique piece of merch that they have there that we are thrilled to be able to offer to you. And it's actually sitting right here in the middle of this table. It is this Mimi plush. Now, for them, just like Dragon Roast, every purchase that you make, with the exclusion of the Mimi plush, they will donate a portion of those proceeds directly to the National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Yep.
So that is
And
very generous of
These
them as
aren't
well.
the only shirt designs.
Oh, not at
Yeah.
all.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty more.
As you'll be able to see here momentarily, if all of the buttons work on the other end.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Yes.
What you can't see right now is Sid's scratch. There
So-
are 7 different designs. $5 of every T-shirt sale will go to the National Alliance.
Love that.
Yes, that is very good.
And like these designs are amazing.
They really are.
And a bunch of them are actually sourced from our community.
Yes.
So which makes them extra special.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah, it's incredible. And you just look at those designs and you're like, I need them. I need so many of these shirts.
Yeah, yeah. So we've got all these great shirts here, and you even see the picture there of the Mimi plush.
Yeah.
And if we could get back to what we're doing here, the Mimi plush is not just a plush; it is actually a container, and this is going to be a fantastic segue into the next thing we're going to be discussing, which is our prizes. Natara, if you would do the honors and reveal the grand prize here. It's a Switch 2.
Wait.
We got it early.
Okay. All jokes aside,
It's official.
That's right.
all jokes aside, the grand prize is actually a Switch 2.
That is true.
We just obviously don't have
We
a box
just
yet.
don't have one yet.
Yes.
We're not
So-
that magic.
Yes. Now, if you would like to get eligible for that Nintendo Switch 2 bundle, we need at least $200 in cumulative donations throughout the entirety of the event. You don't have to do it all in one shot. You don't have to do it all on the same day. If you want to donate 50 here, 50 there, 50 there, 50 there, get at least 200, you can do that. That works for you as well. So that's going to be our grand prize for this year's event is the Switch 2. But
Disclaimer,
Yeah.
Mimi plush does not come with a Switch 2.
No.
Sorry, y'all.
Disclaimer, I will convince them to send you the sticky note that's on the box.
now,
They're chatting about that
Now,
too.
disclaimer, if you do win the Switch 2, then you should probably buy the Mimi plush to keep
Just
your
to keep
Switch
it
2.
in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Completely.
You know? Yeah.
Great upset.
So, but that Switch, now that's obviously our grand prize, but we've got tons of other prizes that are going to be available all throughout the event. And we've got a lot of them up in and around here. And in fact, a lot of the prizes that you see here are going to be, you're going to be eligible for these like once we get started in just a few minutes. Like that is part of our current prize block. There's that there's the Luigi board, the keyboard that's up there, a lot of these wood carved.
Yeah.
Again, like I see there's the Final Fantasy VIII, there's Golden Sun up here. There's all kinds of great stuff.
I don't think you get just how amazing these wood carvings are.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
They are incredible.
Yeah, the detail
And
is
you also can't see
truly
it through my
stunning.
head.
Yeah.
And it's not just detail, like these are layered. So
Yeah.
it's got like depth and different variants in the color.
Yeah.
They are truly incredible. The Final Fantasy VIII one is behind Bob's head, so you might not see the details.
There you go.
But like it looks to me exactly
Yeah.
like the case.
You need
It
to-
is just amazing.
Yeah. You need to bob and weave so they
Yeah,
can see
Bob
it.
and me.
Really, dude?
Like,
That's the best you could come up with.
I had to. So we've got tons of prizes available for you all throughout the week. So if there's something here that doesn't quite suit your fancy, there will be something later on this week that will. So you'll
So
want
many
to
cool
check
prizes.
that out.
Yeah.
So now, in addition to your donations getting you eligible for prizes, we've got all kinds of incentives and bid wars in this year's event. So remember that when you are making your donation, use that command in chat to pull up the incentives and the bid wars. If you want to see a special boss fought, if you want to choose a character's name, if you want to choose a certain character getting selected, if you want to see some silly stuff, and everything in between, getting your money put towards the incentive or the bid war of your choice is absolutely the way to go.
I do want to give a big shout out in chat to Tantrum Doodlebug.
Yes.
Who is actually sat just outside the stream room right now.
Yes, we actually have, obviously those of you watching at home when we wear this, but we actually have Tantrum here on site selling their gear, which is awesome.
Incredible.
So, yeah, so now this, I suppose, would be a good time to mention that we do on-site registration. If you're watching and if you're seeing this and you're like, man, I am fired up for Limber Break. How do I be a part of that? Hop on the bird, get over here, do your registration on site. You can buy some merch here and be a part of what we do too.
100%.
Yeah. Now, of course, all of these incentives that we're talking about and the prizes and whatnot, they're all tied to the speed runs.
Yes.
Of course,
I was like, we're speed running?
That is, of course,
who was going to tell me?
the foundation of
Natara,
But, yes.
you have a run later in
I was like, I have a run?
yes.
Oh, God, I got to practice. Oh, God.
But jokes aside, can we talk about this Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, we can.
Rush
Yeah.
that
Yeah, we can.
You and 7 others are going to be doing. I'm going to give you the floor.
Yeah.
Tell us, because that is going to be a can't miss part of RPG Limit Break this
Absolutely.
year.
So this run is currently scheduled. It is for Friday. It's 4:26 Mountain Time, 6:26 Eastern in the evening.
Assuming time.
Things are going to adjust, but as it currently stands, we are playing Final Fantasy XIV EX Boss Rush. The plan is myself, Margaret Ann, Doe Wolf, and Leggy Starscream are going to be here on site. And we have 4 incredible remote runners who are going to be joining us as to make up 8. We are going to be unsyncing fights starting at the beginning of Stormblood. We are going to be going as far as we can in 2 hours because it's a showcase. Now, that in itself sounds kind of cool. The exciting part of this run is it is crowd control-esque.
Everyone's playing Red Mage.
Everyone's playing, and not necessarily, but everyone could play DPS. We are going to have a rolling bid war. There's going to be 5 options going. You use your money to vote for which chaos, which absolutely silly thing you'd like us to do. One of the options, no HUD.
Yeah.
We'll just do the fight in no HUD. Guess what we learned through practice you can't do if there's no HUD, except a raise. So if you die, we are stuck on the ground and can't do anything. And every time the bid war changes to one of the other options, our lovely host is going to roll the D20 they have.
I was going to say, I'm glad you said it's a rolling bid war, because there will be an actual physical die that our host will be using and rolling.
Yep.
Like, here's your fate.
Yep, and there are 20 options,
Hence the chaos.
which we are called chaos.
Yes.
And they will add even more shenanigans, but that dice only gets rolled when the bid war changes. So you were going to want to donate and absolutely wreck our days.
Yes.
You want to make us suffer as much as you can.
Please
you can make us
suffer.
Yeah, make me suffer. I'm here for it. We have options to run some savage fights. We can start from the end. You don't want to start at Shadowbringers? We're going to jump to the end and we'll start with Heidelin instead. It'll be fine.
Yes.
We'll be fine. It's okay. Also, hey, Bismarck, you love that fight. It's super long. You can make us do it. You can make us do it twice. If we meet the first bid war, we will run it immediately and explain the concept as we go with just explaining the concept. You can make us then do it again at the end of the run, where we're going to add chaoses to it. Is this fight hard? Not even a little. Is it excessively long and annoying? Yes. So please come. Please come wreck our days and enjoy the shenanigans, the absolute just fun stuff that's going to happen.
Remind the folks when that run is happening.
That run, Friday evening. Check to the website, rpglimitbreak.com, and we have a schedule listed, which adjusts to your local time.
Put it on your calendars now.
Yeah, come tune in. It's going to be exciting.
Bob, what are you looking forward to run-wise for this event?
The finale.
Yes, which is?
And then I get to go get some sleep.
He doesn't mean the finale game.
I'm personally looking forward to Chrono Trigger.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is the finale.
I have a storied history with this game.
Yes.
Which is, it was the closing of AGDQ 14.
Yeah.
Where AGDQ first broke the million. I was one of 2 people that could have hosted that run, but the other person didn't know how to run the donation software. So I was running donation software, and that person got to host. So now, on our 10th anniversary of an event I helped put on, I'm getting my salty run back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You will be hosting for the end of that Chrono Trigger run, and that's going to be awesome. Yeah, again, that's going to be the end of the event being done by Puexel, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
What about you?
For me personally, there's a couple that I am looking forward to. It's actually the run right after Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
Jair's running Link's Awakening DX.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think it's really cool to see some Zelda representation in RPG Limit Break.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really fun one. Another one that I'm looking forward to.
Utopia?
A little bit. I'm actually not, because that run is going to be torture. That category is super rough.
Fire Rock?
So, no. Anyway, is on, I want to say it's like early Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Palmer is running a game called Anachronox.
Yeah.
And if you are not familiar with Palmer, you're going to get to hear me talk to him a little later in the week.
Yeah.
But the games that he runs are absurd. And I think that's putting it lightly.
I mean, he's absurd.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So with what he does, like, you have to watch Palmer's runs because you're always going to see something incredibly wacky, and it's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you wonder what video games even are. It's
Given that we're counting down to the beginning of the marathon, maybe we should talk a little bit about our first game.
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should. I mean, I feel like we're pretty much ready to get started here.
Almost there.
Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah, Valkyria Chronicles being run by PX Micaiah. We're going to toss it over there in a second. Want to get some final thoughts here, Ray?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm mesmerized by the enthusiasm, and I think you pair NAMI's grassroots that you talked about, tens of thousands of individuals standing up in a way they feel comfortable talking about it. It could be LGBTQ plus space. It could be that I'm the first person in my community of Black families and African ancestry, and I'm pulling together a sharing hope community conversation. This is
for me disability as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're seeing more of that, right? Whether it's developmental disability, intellectual disability, whatever this space is, right? You get into your gaming community and someone says, this is my space, this is the game I feel comfortable in. We're not going to point you, that's right. We are not going to point you into a place that puts you in a spot that you don't feel safe.
Exactly.
So I am so grateful to you guys, and know that every dollar that is donated goes right back into the community.
Can everybody in the audience make some noise for Ray here and being a part of NAMI and doing what we're doing?
And just a shout out to everyone in our community. You belong here, and we love you.
Yes.
We do.
All righty. Netara, final thoughts real quick?
Thanks for being here. We love you.
Bob?
In the words of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
Guys, gals, non-binary pals, and all of those beyond that spectrum, please be excellent to each other. And party on, my friend!
All righty. At this point, I am going to toss it on over to our lovely host, Silver Deeds, who's going to be taking you through this first run. But for me, it is my distinct pleasure to kick off RPG Limit Break 2025. Let the game begin!